Hello friends, you must have all seen a network outage happen one or the other time. That's when you cannot get out of your company's network to the internet, or you are not able to access anything on your internet or even the local network. Now this network outage, if plotted on a timeline, can be split into two major sections. First is what happens during the outage, which is like the tickets are created, on calls jump in, they will put their correspondences in, they put their findings. Eventually they will troubleshoot it, find the problem, fix the problem, and then close the ticket. The second half of this outage is where the whole team sits together and does introspection of what went wrong. Why did the service go down? This introspection is specifically important because there are certain SLAs with customers. There are certain SLAs with service providers that are connected to your particular infrastructure or your service. During this introspection, teams figure out the timeline of what happened, trying to get the root cause, trying to get the impact that this outage has caused, and also come up with steps as to how to prevent this in future. As you can see, an outage report looks like pretty similar from company to company. However, every company can decide to add their own customized sections to this report. So a report would have, as I said, a summary, the RCA, it will have snapshots of different logs, the timeline of events, how can we avoid it in future, as well as who owns what actions next. Before going to the solution design of my project, this is how a trouble ticket looks like in a company. Trouble ticket, or call it like incident as some companies call it. This is where the whole outage is tracked. This is kind of a living document of what all happened during an outage. Once this is finished, for our project, we are assuming that the on-call has saved all the logs and snapshots in a Google Drive in this folder. So a device log here will have the logs from the device which went down. As you can see in this trouble ticket, my device, the hypothetical device C3 pod 1 has gone down. So we have saved the logs of C3 pod 1 around the time when the outage happened. Along with this, we also have a snapshot service. Every company, every network company has a snapshot service, which keeps on taking the snapshots of the configuration of the devices at a certain interval. So let's say our outage happened at 2 o'clock. We will have a before snapshot as well as the snapshot right after the outage happened, right? So for our demo purposes, we are just consider these two kind of logs, which eventually we will correlate. In a real outage, there can be other information too. Along with these two, we also have two more services that I'm emulating at the backend. I have set up my own APIs. First is external tool API, which is similar to say a down detector tool, which you can call to figure out, okay, during the outage, how many people are complaining about your outage. And then there is an internal tool, which is like your internal monitors in your company that tell you that, oh, something is wrong. Using these two tools and the config service, which is a snapshot service I just told you, the log management is the way to get these logs from the Google Drive, that service, and incident service, which is also what I'm emulating here. So this is the incident service in the company. So before I go to the detailed diagram, let me show you the demo. So the incident we have is this one, incident 2124. Now I will say generate the RCA document, right? So we are kind of focusing on the next part of creating the RCA. Now when I go to this diagram here, I see that now when the trigger is given to our workflow, First, what it will do is it will fetch all the information from our emulated tools at the backend. Then that will go to a GenAI tool. Now GenAI will take the snapshots that I showed you before. It will also take the log file and kind of correlate this to create a timeline of like, okay, when did the device go down and what were the changes made between a working snapshot and a snapshot after the device went down. Along with that, we will also have inputs from these external and internal monitors. What we will do is we will take all these results, we will do our diagnosis, analysis, and put it in a consolidated file. So now this file has information about everything that happened during the outage along with our correlations. Now we will feed this into another LLM, which will generate reports for our 3 different stakeholders. Now here, the information that is going into our GenAI engine is the same. However, we have defined different formats when we are reporting to different stakeholders. In the first stakeholder we have is our internal team, the one who just requested about the outage. Now, if you see, the outage has been the outage report has been created here in a format that we have specified in our LLM prompt. So it is a very neat report about what happened, the RCA, the timeline of events. In this case, you can specifically see there was a if you see this report, the problem here is we upgraded our Cisco iOS version. So the report did all the correlation between your logs and snapshots and figured out the upgrade to iOS 7.3 resulted in critical failures during initialization, leading to hardware fault in forwarding ASIC. Now this line, the fault in forwarding ASIC, is retrieved from the logs, the Cisco logs, but the upgrade to the iOS version 70.3 is determined from the before and after snapshots. Along with that, we created a timeline here, and we have created preventive measures as well. Along with that, certain other files you can just tell the LLM to follow a certain format. Along with this, lot of companies also have like a 5 whys kind of issue, like why this happened, and the answer to that you again ask why to that. You can include that as well. Since that is a little advanced, I have skipped it for the purpose of POC. Now along with, the first stakeholder was the network engineer who requested the RCA document. The next stakeholder is the management. However, before going to management, the report is first sent to a team which will review that, hey, this is the report we are going to send to the management. Please go and check if everything is okay. After the outage report reviewer goes in and checks that, oh, everything is okay, they will say approve. Now, once it's approved, the report will move ahead and we will get I'm sending it to myself, but in the real scenario, the email that we had for review now will be sent to the management. This again has a detailed information about what all happened. It also has some KPIs because that is really important for management, about how much time we took to detect what happened, how much time from start to end. This is the second stakeholder. Now, along with these stakeholders, we want to also talk to our end users, right? So we have updated our social media, which is in this case is X, where we have put a message about that we are sorry about the outage and we offer some complimentary services to our user. In addition to these messages, we also, in my case, I have sent a message to Discord. We are also sending a direct message to our end customer, which goes something like this.
Dear customers, we recently experienced a network outage that resulted in disruption to your services. Our team rapidly identified and isolated the issue, repaired it, and performed thorough testing. For the inconvenience, we're offering you 15 days of free internet. Please reach out to us at 1800 data for any further assistance. Your patience and understanding are greatly appreciated. #network outage #customer support. Hash free internet hash service restored hash tech update hash stay connected.
Thank you. So with all of this, we can say that the value in this I want to highlight is that creating a report after an outage is the most boring work that any network engineer wants to do, right? In this way, we can at least get a network engineer a head start. Let's say we complete 85% of report for him or her, and then they can customize it as per, if something the report missed, they can just add those things there. But this will kind of streamline this process of after outage to when the report is generated. And on an average, it takes around 6 to 11 days after an outage for a review, reports to be done, filling in everything, ensuring everything is the right format. But with this tool, we can get that time down to 1 to 2 days. So you can see that's a huge saving, and with very less human involvement, at least in the initial step. So you can see, we using the OutageIQ tool, an engineer who was angry before, for who had to spend his cycles documenting this report, can now spend it on critical tasks that actually need his or her input. So hope you liked the project. Thank you.